fantastic underwater world and crazy carnival. How can that go together? Fashion Carnival takes place every year in Jember in eastern Java, a fantastic event in a Muslim city. It's one of the greatest carnivals of the world, but hardly known outside Indonesia. In 2014, the spectacular carnival attracted the Swiss expat Eddie Frommenwiler to Jember, and behind the scenes of this stunning costume festival. Frommenwiler is known as a dive tour operator, underwater cameraman, and ship owner. With his self-constructed ship, the 61-year-old tours the reefs of Indonesia and dives with his camera at the most beautiful spots in the world, like here among dozens of manta rays.
I've been diving in Indonesia for 24 years, and to me every dive is like a fashion show underwater. I try to find a parallel above water to raise people's awareness of the ocean.
Fashion show underwater and fashion show above water. Can you combine these two? At the carnival in Jember, about 10 subjects are set each year. The event gets great media coverage in Indonesia. At this edition of the carnival, the subjects range from Phoenix to the Indian tribe of Apaches. Could costumes of marine animals open the eyes of the Indonesians to the beauty of their ocean and to its protection? For this purpose, Eddie would have to convince this man on the rolling platform, Dynand Fariz, the king of the carnival. He's the inventor of the show and sets the themes.
I asked the king of the carnival if he would be open to take up the subject of ocean on one of the upcoming events. I raved about the beauty of the underwater world and showed him some videos. He was very enthusiastic and said, "Yes, let's do that."
Eddie goes diving with his cruise ship. That's his job. He knows that the ocean will be part of the carnival in 2016, but he doesn't know which animals Dynand will choose for his show. There are plenty of possibilities, like these pilot whales. While diving with his tourists, Eddie now has the carnival on his mind. Fusiliers whiz over the corals. Schooling fish would be a great subject, especially these glassfish. They have a yellowish translucent body and swim in ever-changing beautiful formations. Or how about barracudas, slim, streamlined predators? But Eddie prefers more bizarre animals, like these rhinopias or weedy scorpion fish. Their costume or colors and appendages seem perfect for a carnival. But alas, it's only made for a perfect camouflage. On its back, the weedy scorpion fish carries poisonous spines. It relies on its disguise and its big mouth. There are also rhinopias without appendages, like this Eschmeyer scorpion fish. However, the hunting tactic is the same. Another subject for a carnival, the clownfish Nemo. Every child knows it. They often live in pairs on the anemone. The stronger animal is always the female. It dominates. Clownfish and anemones live in symbiosis. All clownfish grow up as males. The strongest of them all changes sex and transforms into a female, which rules over life on the anemone. What appears to be a dance has a purpose. The clownfish swim over the red eggs and fan fresh water on them with their fins. Another alternative, crustaceans. On a stinging hydroid, Eddie finds little skeleton shrimps. They move on the branches like in a carnival, but in reality, it's a fight for the best place to catch plankton organisms. The big one chases the smaller ones away. On an anemone, Eddie discovers a species of shrimp already dressed up for a carnival. But the squat lobsters outperform it. The transparent costume of these shrimps is a bit too daring for a Muslim country. These crabs qualify more as spectators. They chill out on tube-dwelling anemones and enjoy the current passing by. The sexy shrimps beside them have the rhythm in their blood. Under this yellow feather star, Eddie locates the most beautiful crustaceans for the Jember catwalk, harlequin shrimps. Despite their fantastic costumes, they prefer to hide and feed on starfish. What about sea slugs? Only a minority of marine snails carry around their own shells, like this horned helmet. Much more colorful are those without a shell, the so-called nudibranchs. Two senses extend from the head. On the back, they carry naked gills to breathe oxygen. They can be found in all shapes and colors, ideal for a carnival. Sometimes they carry around passengers. Small emperor shrimps enjoy a slow ride over the reef. This red cloth is not a muleta of a bullfighter, but the spawn of a Spanish dancer, a nudibranch. The variety of sea slugs is overwhelming. This one has algae in its tissue. It's called a solar-powered nudibranch. This one would be the ideal queen of the slugs. Its name, Philodesmium iromotensi.
Halo. Oke, kalau begitu atakuta laut sama...
Which species did Dynand Fariz choose out of Eddie's many videos to be the star of the next Jember festival?
Lagi untuk ngomong selainnya. Oke, terima kasih banyak. Sampai jumpa lagi.
I just spoke with Dynand. His choice, seahorses and jellyfish. I like that. It will be interesting.
Eddie is now looking for jellyfish, but he finds salps. They float around in the open water like jellyfish and feed on animal plankton. They often form chains. The sand divers observe Eddie attentively. Oops, and they disappear in the sand. This lonely salp is called Thetis vagina, a strange name. Presumably male biologists invented it. On the sandy bottom, Eddie doesn't film seahorses, but their relatives, ghost pipefish. These fish swim head down in the water and are very well camouflaged. With their long snout, they catch little crayfish. This robust ghost pipefish looks like a leaf and moves like one. Ghost pipefish adapt to their surroundings, like these three in the seagrass. Here, a rough snout and a robust ghost pipefish seem to dance, but it's a territorial fight. If two are fighting, a third one comes to watch the show. The ornate ghost pipefish wears a real carnival costume, but his colorful dress is used as camouflage. Jember, East Java, 4 months before the carnival. Eddie drives to Jember because the fashion designer wants to present the first prototypes for the upcoming show. Jember is a town of 300,000 inhabitants. In the center, the fashion house of Dynand Fariz, the king of the carnival. The 54-year-old has just arrived from Jakarta and is welcomed by his father and his brother.
Halo.
Apa kabar?
Baik.
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 Ini yang gambarnya yang bagus
Ya.
lagi di sini ya.
Oh, yes.
So you got a lot of inspiration from my videos?
Yes.
Huh?
Of course. For the inspiration. Yeah. Yeah.
It's great.
Wow. And something can move. Ya kan? Very interesting. This can also make one by one for the detail. Very important also about the color, about the detail.
Using basic means, many volunteers are busy realizing the fashion guru's ideas. They now have to show Dynand what they have been doing in his absence. A lot of them are hoping for a fashion career for themselves. Fefi doesn't need to. She's a professor of agronomy. At the carnival, she's responsible for the ocean creatures.
I'm not have salary. In here is free. I'm free.
I see.
Yeah, just volunteer.
And
Why do you do that?
Because I like it. Because I'm so happy in here. I like it this work.
Eddie, how do you like it?
Das ist einfach so verrückt, wie das Ganze aufgebaut
It's
ist.
crazy how it's constructed, what materials they use, metal, aluminum, glass spheres, and so on.
Alles Mögliche, ja, die Glasküsse.
It's jaw-dropping. It's crazy.
Aber das ist einfach so, das ist verrückt.
Makeup is dabbed on the models of the prototypes. They also hope to become supermodels one day. Dynand wants to check the costumes before they're presented to the public the next morning. How can you stage such a carnival in a Muslim city?
Memulai suatu kegiatan yang berhubungan
To start something like this in a city like Jember wasn't easy.
yang mudah.
In this carnival, we don't show the beauty of the bodies or the anatomy.
Tidak menunjukkan
We show the beauty of the design and the creativity of the costume makers.
tas yang itu dirancang untuk pakaian.
All participants of the carnival wear costumes that cover the whole body and just leave a little space for the faces.
Sedangkan seluruh badan dia tertutup dengan bagian-bagian detail kostum.
The master is satisfied with his jellyfish. But what is the intended effect of his ocean costumes?
My friend, the name is Mr. Eddie, show me about the sea in Indonesia, and then the sea, under the sea also. Very nice, very, very nice, and then me very like it about this. I hope also to all people in Indonesia, very important, save the ocean Indonesia.
The seahorse too passes the test before the master, according to his slogan, "If it's beautiful, you love it, and if you love it, you will protect it." The third prototype, which represents the whole ocean, is also approved. After the test, 4 fashion students from Bandung apply for an internship at Dynand's fashion house. Shinta is fond of the seahorse. We will meet her again in this film. Sunday morning at 6 o'clock. Unbelievable. The whole city of Jember is already up. Morning exercise with Dynand Fariz, or more precisely, warming up for the dance training. Practice makes perfect to become a star. Many hope exactly that. Participants also have to train to march. After all, the catwalk is 3.5 kilometers through Jember.
Welcome to Jember. Jember, the old fashion Carnival city. Big applause.
The prototypes of the 10 main themes are presented. As a crib, the big master has written them all on his hand. Techno, wood, garden, barong. These role models should inspire a lot of people in the public to create their own costumes for the carnival. This also applies for the ocean costumes and the jellyfish. And of course, the seahorse.
I'm very happy. Wow. Maybe I have time to mount, yeah, final for the all prototype, all costume, and go to the show.
Eddie is back on his cruise ship and diving again. He now looks for pictures that go with the carnival. Instead of jellyfish, he finds an octopus, a quick change artist, and a dancer. The octopus performs for the cameraman and changes his shape until he's had enough. At another place, Eddie finds things that look like they've come out of a carnival wardrobe. They are eggs of squids, a cephalopod with 8 arms and 2 longer tentacles. The male has already fertilized the eggs, and the female anchors them in the reef so that the current can bring them plenty of fresh water. When all the eggs are anchored, they hover back out into the open sea. The cuttlefish, also a cephalopod, is the star of the quick change artists. It can vary its color at will. Welcome to the underwater carnival. But of course, it's all for camouflage. Eddie looks for seahorses and jellyfish, but he finds a hawksbill turtle. On a dive, you never know what you might encounter. The turtle ignores the lights and goes on looking for food: sponges, cnidarians, and jellyfish. Up until recently, sea turtles were brutally killed in Indonesia, but now very slowly the idea of protection has started to gain acceptance. After 20 minutes, the sea turtle swims to the surface to catch some air. Eddie travels with his ship into Horseshoe Bay on the island of Rinca in the Komodo National Park. Fantastic ocean creatures live here, but Eddie wants to test his new toy, a drone. On the beach of Rinca, the Komodo dragons are waiting. The last dragons of the world have a poisonous bite that prevents blood from clotting. Other dive boats must be feeding them, because as soon as the rubber dinghies approach the shore, they come. The drone is nothing but a strange little insect to them. "12 days to go to the carnival. In Ambulu, south of Jember, school is over. But in one classroom, there is still a lot of action. These students have chosen the ocean as their carnival costume, and they have been working a lot in recent weeks. Fefi, the boss of the ocean costumes, is here to help with advice. Sailboats are part of the ocean. Why not as a cap on top of the hijab? The jellyfish are also represented. The seahorses, unfortunately not. They were too difficult for the young students. In the schoolyard, the new costumes are tried on. It's a rehearsal for the upcoming presentation before the grand jury of Dynand Fariz. He has to give his okay to every costume before it can be admitted to the show. Papuma Beach near Ambulu, a place for fishermen and leisure. The waves of the Indian Ocean inspire the girls for their performance at the carnival. Here they also find shells for their costumes. By working on their dresses, they've studied the sea extensively. Now they also have a message.
We will say to all people here, don't throw the garbage in ocean, don't get bombed, fishermen fisher in here. So make the nice view, always beautiful ocean here in Papuma Beach.
Let's hope Fefi's words are heard, because time and again the most pristine beaches of Indonesia are infested with plastic waste. Depending on the currents, the plastic waste drifts here and there.
I see a dramatic change in the ocean. More and more plastic. That's a pity. The whole of mankind uses the ocean as a waste bin. That's not good. The plastic can originate from anywhere, from Europe to America. Nobody knows exactly where the plastic comes from. The biggest amount is from here, for sure. But some of it can also drift here from China, India, America. All people that live by the sea pollute it.
The plastic cloud can drift around for years, and it gets bigger and bigger. In eastern Indonesia, where Eddie is diving, the young ones are more careless than the girls of Ambulu. They use the ocean as a playground and a place to shoot fish, no matter how small they are. Eddie rather films natural wonders, but reality often catches up with him. This is a barrel sponge. It doesn't eject smoke, but sperm, which should fertilize the eggs of another sponge somewhere else. Nearby, a fishing net is stuck in the corals. It will remain here for decades as another symbol of man's carelessness. In Indonesia, as in other places, people fish way too much. These fish are juvenile convict blennies. They swim in tight formations to look like a single body. They resemble these striped catfish, which are venomous. The catfish only have the added barbels. Such a deliberate disguise is called mimicry in biology. The juvenile convict blennies are chased out of the hole by their parents. The old ones stay in the tunnel and do the house cleaning. Like that, having children is easy, and they have many. When the young ones have eaten enough, they return home. In front of a feather star, Eddie films ornate ghost pipefish. Without noticing it, he attracts a dangerous lionfish. Its spines are poisonous. The lionfish follows Eddie as he discovers a crocodile fish. The crocodile fish has adapted his color dress exactly to his surroundings. In the meantime, a second lionfish appears. The camouflaged eyes of the crocodile fish fascinate Eddie to such an extent that he ignores everything around him. More lionfish pop up. When he turns to face the reef, he sees that he's attracted a whole bunch of the poisonous predators. Eddie has to be careful now. A careless movement could result in a sting. It wouldn't be fatal, but very painful. Jember, 10 days to go to the carnival. In his parents' home, student Ilham uses a lot of space. He chose the ocean as a carnival theme and has studied the sea intensively.
Saya sangat khawatir dengan orang-orang yang membuang sampah.
I am worried about people who throw garbage into the sea, fish with bombs, and break corals.
Yang ada di dalam laut. Sehingga untuk kedepannya
I want to send the world a message. Pay attention, love the ocean, and take care of it.
Keindahan laut sebenarnya itu luas.
Fefi, the professor of agronomy, returns home from university, but her working day is far from over. As Queen of the Ocean, she has to finish her extravagant costume.
I make it my costume. It's 2 months. Every day I must have schedule for my costume because if I don't have schedule, maybe my planning is not finished my costume in the end before grand jury.
Fefi has found a leitmotif for the whole ocean group.
Love the ocean, and if you love the ocean, you must protect it. This is my train for my performance in JFC.
As it should be, the throne is richly decorated. Eight days to go to the carnival. In another city district, student Shinta is making corrections to her seahorse costume.
Seahorses are so cute. They are unique, colorful, and very hard to find.
Di situ, Mr. Dynand Fariz memberitahu sedikit tentang seahorse.
Mr. Dynand Fariz told us about the life of the seahorses, and he explained that in this species, the males give birth.
Yang jantan.
Would she rather be a female seahorse?
Aku bersyukur menjadi manusia.
I'm very thankful to be human, but I'm also very happy to know seahorses.
Dibilang ingin.
But if you ask me directly, no, I wouldn't like to swap. But I admire the seahorses.
Tentu saja aku mengagumi seahorse.
On a sandy bottom at a depth of 3 meters, Eddie finally discovers seahorses. They float in the swell on the sand. He's lucky. There is something going on between those two. The first tender advances. That's the way the mating ritual starts. At the end of the ritual, the female will put her eggs in the pouch of the male. He will fertilize and gestate them. Throughout the whole animal kingdom, the seahorse is the only male that gives birth. Eddie was lucky once before. He was able to film a seahorse give birth in the wild.
We were pushed around a corner by the current and landed on a field of seagrass. There, I spotted a seahorse, and suddenly it started to give birth. I think that is one of the only film clips worldwide that shows a seahorse giving birth in the open sea. It was really beautiful, and I've never seen it again. Not something you see every day.
At a depth of 20 meters, Eddie discovers more seahorses. Seahorses are fish that feed on small crustaceans and plankton organisms. Some species are endangered because their habitat is shrinking. They are sold as souvenirs or processed into potency-enhancing medicine in China. Man is their worst enemy. Thorny seahorses wear different color dresses, not to stand out, but to merge with their surroundings. There are more than 40 accepted species of seahorses, and scientists worldwide are trying to find out more about these unique creatures that were already known to the Romans. Usually, seahorses are well hidden. They survive thanks to their camouflage. If a predator detects them, they are easy prey because they can only swim away very slowly. On such fan corals, Eddie finds the smallest species, pygmy seahorses, the size of a fingernail.
I remember very well when I first saw a pygmy seahorse. It was only 5 days after this new species was discovered. It was very special. You don't see that everywhere. Indonesia is very special.
In recent years, several new species of pygmy seahorses were found. 7 days to go to the carnival. Nightfall in Jember. Shinta is still busy. She shares this small room with her girlfriend and 2 carnival costumes. In Fefi's district, people are enjoying the calm of the evening. But the Queen of the Ocean is still working hard. Her complex costume is not yet finished, and time is running out. On Eddie's ship, the sun sets too. Time for a night dive. In the dark, strange inhabitants of the reef appear, like this Alicia, an anemone that pumps itself up with water. A lionfish is active too, grabbing small animals that are attracted by the video lights. A fire roller has come up from the deep. This tube consists of a multitude of tiny little salps. In the morning, it will once again dive down to 800 meters. A clown frogfish is trying out acrobatic contortions. This tube anemone is catching microorganisms with its tentacles. A starry night octopus is looking for food. He moves smoothly through the reef. One of his colleagues has chosen a very special housing, a jam jar. It may even come out for Eddie. Or rather not. Nearby, 2 stonefish are lurking for prey, the most poisonous fish on Earth. A moray eel and a trunkfish share this hole. Meanwhile, a seahorse passes by, and a jellyfish is enjoying a luscious meal in the light of the lamps. In the artificial light, the coral reef appears in full splendor. The basket stars don't like it. At night, they spread their rays out like a fan to catch zooplankton. In the spotlight, they immediately contract. Jember, 5 days to go to the carnival. For many participants, this is an important day. They have to present their costumes to the big master for them to be approved for the show. The girls from Ambulu display their ocean inspirations.
This is, I need more iron, better, yeah? Cannot like this for the show. Ya, atau kurang besar talinya atau gimana, nanti dipikirin, diuji coba di rumah, yang nyaman.
Dynand Fariz is a perfectionist and always has some suggestions for improvement.
I think better put something in here with a makeup or istilah for the hand, yeah. I need put something is here, more detail. Dan tambahin nanti untuk semuanya.
How satisfied is the chief of the carnival with the ocean costumes?
Peserta atau partisipan.
After I showed my prototypes, the participants came back with a lot of creativity and innovation. Frankly speaking, I expected much simpler costumes. But these youngsters have implemented even crazier ideas than me. I'm very proud of them. It shows me that every person has a lot of creativity if you give them the chance to develop it.
Asal mereka diberi kesempatan untuk show.
That's exactly Dynand's goal, to stimulate the creative potential of young people in Jember.
Ya kan? Di sini sehingga dia festif banget. Okay?
Meanwhile, Fefi's sister, Pepi, is preparing the screen for a jellyfish costume. It is for her 6-year-old daughter, Nina. She will be the youngest jellyfish at the carnival. 2-year-old Ziva admires her bigger sister, who is getting acquainted with the movements of a jellyfish.
Jellyfish are drifting animals of the open sea. Sometimes they come close to the shore. It's a matter of luck to see them. But there are so-called jellyfish lakes, enclosed lakes in which jellyfish thrive that don't sting. Some weeks ago, I found a new place in Raja Ampat where we can have a look at the jellyfish.
This is the Jellyfish Lake, a saltwater lake cut off from the sea. Therefore, it lacks the natural enemies of the jellyfish, and they have developed a different survival strategy. They hardly sting anymore. The jellyfish carry symbiotic algae in their tissue, so-called zooxanthellae, on which they feed. They float around like swimming greenhouses. The animals follow the sun because the zooxanthellae need light for the photosynthesis. Jellyfish pump water in and out to move. These ones are called golden jellyfish. The golden color is due to the single-celled algae in their tissue.
It's fantastic to dive here, but in the back of your mind you always think, what is behind me? I know that there are also big crocodiles living here. It's a very awkward feeling.
Fortunately, nothing happens this time, and Eddie can enjoy the beauty of the moment. Jember, Eastern Java. The multi-day carnival begins. Fefi is fixing the last ornaments for the big show. Then she prays to Allah that everything may go well with her ocean group. Here, a very tolerant form of Islam is practiced. Fashion designer Dynand Fariz is giving a press conference. The media like the king of the carnival. In Fefi's house, little Nina is made up for the children's carnival. In the kitchen and in the yard, neighbors cook for the participants. The food is packed in portions and distributed. Nina waits for her big performance. Shinta will accompany her as a nanny with a reduced seahorse costume. The whole seahorse would be too heavy. Then the children's carnival starts. Their costumes also reflect the set themes of Dynand Fariz. The ocean is nearly drowning in this big show. It's a small but brave group. With her nanny seahorse Shinta, jellyfish Nina parades the grandstands. She's the darling of the photographers. The children's group continues, like the adults, through the streets of the city of Jember. Sunday, the day of the Grand Carnival. Slowly, the press and thousands of spectators swarm to the grandstands. Eddie wishes Dynand good luck with his upcoming show. In front of Fefi's house, the throne of the Ocean Queen is put together. Shinta is retouching her makeup and is dressed up for the big show.
I'm very nervous. Really nervous because today is my last show in GFC. Bismillah.
Finally, Dynand Fariz, the king of the carnival, greets his huge fan base.
When there are lots of spectators, a lot of media reporting, and a lot of photographers shooting pictures, then I'm very proud.
Eddie's looking forward to the Ocean Group, but first it's the turn of the others.
So on the runway of Jember Fashion Carnival, Grand Carnival is to be holidays dominated by the colors of red and yellow.
Then finally, Fefi, the Queen of the Ocean, parades in front of the VIP stands. Ilham, the student, presents his ocean costume, as do the girls from the school of Ambulu. Dynand's seahorse is here, also Shinta's complete seahorse. She becomes a star, and her costume wins an award. After the grandstands, they continue across the city in front of 500,000 enthusiastic spectators. Let's hope the idea to save the ocean will also prevail. At least the Queen of the Ocean is convinced of her message. Love the ocean and protect it. The master is also in favor of the motto.
My carnival, ocean, jellyfish, seahorse, just only sample for this year. So maybe next year, I show more creativity, more from ocean, not only just seahorse with jellyfish.
Underwater Carnival, a successful combination of nature and entertainment. Will it inspire the Indonesians to better treat their fantastic underwater world?
I think they have learned something. It has made them more aware. It was amazing to see that the students are aware of the problems of the ocean, whereas the older ones still have to learn, for example, that you don't throw away plastic waste.
Will the underwater carnival continue?
Certainly. Every time when I go diving, there's a carnival down there.
The Jember Fashion Carnival has opened many eyes to the beauty of the ocean, but also to the dangers that threaten it. However, more is needed than a carnival for marine animals and man to live together in harmony.